Hi, I wanted to make a short video for you to show you how to build personas and give you a number of tools that you could use in order to do this task. We're going to look at a few slides first, and then I'm going to demonstrate one of the tools so that you can actually see how we can mine data and build a persona rather than just kind of thinking of something in our mind. First, we build personas around 4 pillars of information, which are geographics, where we live, demographics, the quantifiable attributes that describe us, psychographics, our values and decision-making processes, and then our behaviors, the actions resulting from our decisions. We can research this information by doing qualitative research, such as customer surveys or broad surveys online or off with open-ended questions, which are critical to understanding how your customers frame their motivations and needs. Phone and in-person interviews, along with web and exit surveys, can also be utilized. Passive research includes reading market research reports, finding customer and prospects on social media by visiting brand web pages, and then individual profiles on Facebook, LinkedIn that are open. In addition, research can be gleaned by reading industry blogs and job descriptions. Other passive techniques include observation methods, such as those that can be used for a brick and mortar location. Once I had a client that was opening a coffee house. I sat in a Starbucks for 8 hours observing and taking notes on what the customers in the Starbucks were doing. When I was done, I consumed about 2 gallons of coffee and filled an entire notebook with observations. Another way that we can gather data is with audience insight tools, such as Google, Facebook, and even Twitter have tools to learn about audiences. Before we jump into a tool, let's think about why we develop personas. Personas help us describe the buyer so we can segment the audience in order to understand the touch points in their buying journey for different campaigns. The journey map allows us to think about the process the buyer follows based on what we learned from the research. The funnel allows us to simplify the journey into activities that are related to awareness, interest, consideration, and conversion. For example, what type of PPC or AdWords campaign will we run to attract someone in the awareness stage of the funnel? How would this differ for someone in the consideration phase? The persona should inform us of the keyword choices to apply to each situation. In terms of tools, we could use Google Audience Insights, Twitter Insights, or LinkedIn's campaign tool, which is great. But for this example, we're going to use Facebook. Now, Facebook is the most used social media platform in existence outside of China. Globally, 2.3 billion monthly active users. In the United States, 190 MAUs. In perspective, this is almost 2/3 of the U.S. population that is active monthly on Facebook. Okay, so once you click the link, you're going to be taken to a page where you're asked to choose people connected to your page, if you have a brand page, or everyone on Facebook. Let's choose everyone. As you look at the bars, the graph bars, notice the gray section is all of Facebook in the US, and the blue will represent your research based on the attributes you choose to select. I'm going to create an audience that I might market to if I were opening a running shoe store in the Orlando market. So let's take a look, and here we go. All right, we're going to play a little bit with Audience Insights. So we're going to go to Audience Insights. We're going to be given a pop-up that says, do we want to do one of our pages for insights, or do we want to use everybody that's on Facebook? And we're going to say everybody on Facebook. We can use this 2 ways. We can use this to gain, like my voice cracking, we can use this to gain more information for our personas. And when we have our personas built, we can take this and take a look at it to see how big the market is from that particular persona, at least based on Facebook. So for our running store, for my running store example, I'm going to type in Orlando. And my wife's name always pops up, but we're just going to say Orlando, Florida is actually the top one there. So there you have Orlando and Florida, United States. And in terms of age, let's say we're going to focus well, I did that wrong. 22. Notice how that clamped down big time. And we're going to take it right up to 64. And you know what? Just out of curiosity, let's go to 65. And as you can see, if I leave out 65, I'm missing a pretty significant number. So we'll leave it at 65. I can take a look at the difference in terms of men, women, and both interests. Let's get to runners. This is where Facebook Insights really gets neat, because we can come down here and we can look at fitness and wellness, and we can say running, and we'll just leave it for running there. And then we can also take a look at sports and outdoors, and we can take a look at sports, and look at that, marathons. So for our running shoe store, that's going to give us some pretty good insights. In terms of relationship status, which is we can access, forget where I'd get that. I think it's down here under advanced. It is. And I can change this around if I wanted to, but that's fine. I'm going to leave it for that. In terms of education level, college and graduate. And notice high school is not really significant, so we just take that out, and we can see there. And then in terms of work, now this is really helpful when I start looking at the different types of jobs my persona might have. I might have somebody that works for some sort of media agency, and I can see that the number is around 14% there. I can take a look at sales, 26%, and management, 17%, and administrative services, 25%. So this, if I have my persona built, I can look back and see how big the market is, or I can begin to use this to think about different ways that I can craft my personas. And then I start to look at the different segments. So this is really a great tool that you can use, and I highly encourage you to use it. It's free. You will have to have a Facebook page, set up a page in order to get into this tool. At least you used to, and I've got so many that it automatically loads for me. But again, it's a free tool. It's Facebook Audience Insights, and as I said earlier in the video, there was the link. So I hope this gives you an idea for how to take a look at developing personas. And rather than just sitting in a closet and saying, what do I think my persona is for a customer for this business? Now you can go out and you can do some real research.